Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June, moving into early July 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Pisces collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Pisces, gang? What do you have for us in late June, early July? We are in Cancer season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces, gang. Late June, early July. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out here nice and quick, my friends. We're going to have a good time today. We're going to have some fun with these cards. There we go. Cool. So, all right. So we have the High Priestess. Now, this isn't a tarot deck. It isn't Oracle. But this lady, whenever she shows up, she just screams High Priestess energy to me, which is, in fact, a Pisces power card. So that's cool when it shows up at the front end of one of your readings. Just super intuitive and tapped in. I really like this. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely lady right here. So as you can see, we have this older divine feminine figure. She is standing in front of this crystal ball that has a key within it, and there's a lockbox right next to her, and it does look like she's in like a little fortune-telling room, right? So she just screams High Priestess to me. Now, the key within the crystal ball to me implies that she has the key to some hidden or secret knowledge, which further cements this High Priestess energy. Now, again, what do we think of with the High Priestess? She is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers. She could represent gut instinct. She could represent the dream state and etheric realms and all that beautiful spiritual stuff that most of us enjoy. So I like the High Priestess. And since it is a Pisces power card, it could represent how you're viewing yourself or how you're treating yourself too. So again, whether it's self-confidence things, whether it's self-love, self-care things, I think that's very important for a lot of Pisces in this time. But the only downside to the High Priestess, I always say it, she could be a little hush hush, right? Like she may have the key to all this hidden secret knowledge, but she keeps it to herself. So she is a mysterious type of energy and card. So we're going to see if these themes show up within the reading. Are there things that we don't see? Are there pieces of information? The High Priestess knows, and we're going to find out. So we're going to let her chill right there. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Pisces, gang. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So there was a very intense energy last week, and it was like fiery in nature. The reading was titled Big Breakthrough Incoming. And to me, it felt like a pressure building, and then of breakthrough. Now, that could show up in a lot of different areas of life. That could, be work, business related things. It could be, personal relationships, you name it. It could be a lot of things. But to me, it felt like something finally breaking through. And that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. Hopefully, you're not feeling too much pressure. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going here. 3 cards for Pisces. What do we got this week? Thank you. The Moon. Okay. This card showed up in the same exact spot in the Cancer reading too. And guess what, Pisces? That's another Pisces power card right there. So it's like we got a double dose of the powerful Piscean potent energy, right? Let's get a couple more here. Okay, 8 of Wands. Yeah, maybe it's around communication. That's an action card, that's for sure. Let's get that tucked in right there. I'm optimistic about what I'm feeling so far. I am very optimistic. Okay, Page of Swords. A little defensive here. These are a lot of communication cards right here on the back end. So I think this is going to be okay. I'm going to hold that neutral view until we get more information. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like it frames the reading and tells us how the energy is going to flow. We have a pretty good mixture this week, Pisces. We got a little bit of water, got some fire, a little bit of air. Cool. Now, these could be different areas of life, or it could be different aspects of the same exact thing. Now, the beautiful thing about how we start off is we start with the water. Pisces is a water sign, and that is your power element. It's your comfort zone. Now, what do I think about with this element? I think of matters of the heart, the internal self, emotion, spirituality, intuition. All the things we were seeing with the high priestess are kind of encapsulated in this element and in this card as well. But a big thing with water, it represents emotional attachment, partnerships. It could be things, people, situations that we actually care about. This water isn't things that we don't care about. It's things that we genuinely do. It could be very creative. It could be extremely expressive. This is great for any form of creativity, whether it's art or music or writing, you name it. So I love the water. The only downside to it is the ebb and flow, right? The up and down, the back and forth, because sometimes water can overwhelm, right? And it is very imaginative and sometimes head in the clouds. So we need to keep an eye on that. Into the center, we have fire. That is the realm of actions. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions you want to take, it is a very high vibrational, high frequency type of energy. So it's very quick. It can represent energy levels, it can represent health and vitality. Normally, it's pretty good, though. It can represent an uptick in energy, which is usually nice. The only downside with fire is that it has an explosive quality to it, right? Where it's hard to contain, where it looks like it's going in one direction, then it goes in another. So we'll see what's up with that. Then on the back end, we have air. Now, fire and air, they do feed off of each other, which intensify that explosive type of quality, but the water kind of keeps it in check. So it's like we have an energetic balancing act going on. But when it comes to the air, that's the logical, pragmatic self. It's very planned out. It's all about the facts. No mystery here. The air is all about cold, hard facts. It's very strategic. It's very planned out. It's all about giving or receiving information, and it's the suit of communication and conversation. The only downside with swords is sometimes, since it is so much in its cerebellum, it could overthink. It can overcomplicate. Sometimes it could be cold and detached as well. So you see what we have. We have this little yin yang of energy going on. Let's go through and start building it out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the moon. Now, as I already mentioned, that is a Pisces power card, right? If you look it up, Pisces, High Priestess, and the moon, right? There's a couple others out there too. But I love it. Some people also link it to the Cancer Collective as well. But this is a very soft, subtle type of energy, right? And similar to the high priestess, like they really do share a lot of similar energies, where it's just like very intuitive and it's all about my gut instinct and what I'm feeling urged to do at a very specific time. So maybe spirit wants you to go with your gut in regards to certain things. That's very possible. But the moon, again, it's like very soft, subtle, energetic tugs. Now, if you're one of those Pisces out there like myself that has a heightened sense of energetic sensitivity, you might want to protect your energy in this time, because it might be ramped up when the moon is here. But what's the biggest thing about the moon? For better or for worse, it's a card of mystery. It's a card of the unknown, of the unexpected, the surprising. So we're going to look into this further. And in a Pisces reading, it could just tell us something that's coming towards you or a way you might be feeling. But it does have that little unknown, mysterious character to it. And in its roughest sense, sometimes it could be secretive. But even if I don't think that's the full case here, especially with the cards that are right next to it. Now, moving to the center, we have the Eight of Wands. And this is a very fast, quick, fiery, rapid card. It does deal heavily when it comes to communication. So it's like fiery back and forth, hot and heavy, boom, 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 boom. So whether your phone's going to be blowing up, whether you're going to be blowing up someone else's phone, that's Eight of Wands energy right there. And if we're talking about action, it's very quick, it's very rapid, it's very fiery. So I think you get the picture here. This is one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. So I like it. So when we're going from the moon to the Eight of Wands, that's like boom, the energy is just like really, really quick. Okay, so that's the downside of this card too, is the fiery, explosive quality to it. So we will keep an eye on it. Now, moving to the back end, we do have a couple of similarities with this card as well. As we get this Eight of Wands tucked back in, we have the Page of Swords. And one thing I say about all pages, they represent students, but they also represent messengers. For some of you, might be connected to an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Even if that's not the case, this card represents someone that's slightly younger. But the page, as even though it's a messenger, even though it's a talker, so again, we have the Eight of Wands and this, it's kind of like a back and forth. This page in particular has its guard up, right? Notice it has its sword up. It's a little unsure. Whereas this energy is it's coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. This one is like, it's like very cautious for some reason. Another thing to mention, the Page of Swords, and a lot of readers would agree, is the watcher of the tarot deck, the observer. So whether this is spirit saying like, hey, Pisces, you need to keep your eye out for this, or hey, Pisces, this needs your attention. Maybe someone's got you under the microscope too. That could be the case. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Pisces, gang. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that moon. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, 10, not the 10, the moon, then the 8 of Wands. Okay, what do we got with this moon? Thank you. Wow, okay. I love this actually. So we have the Seven of Cups. This could be really, really great. It feels so creative and outside of the box too. This feels like a eureka moment, aha moment to me, where something just presents itself, where it's like, oh, all right, there it is. That's the path. That's the choice. So it's funny that we have this action and all this communication coming up, because to me, it's like that eureka moment where things finally snap together. So I will say this: if you have like any great ideas in this time, whether it's like a business idea, whether it's a idea for anything, like if you feel that pumped up type of vibe, you want to write it down, because to me it's like I'm plucking information out of the ether where like everything finally makes sense, or all the dots connect. I think that's great. So whether you're having good times, rough times, in between times, to me it's like, okay, now that makes sense, now everything is clicking, which I think is great. Now another thing to mention, the Seven of Cups is a card of options, paths, and choices. I call it the menu board of life. It's huge when it comes to manifesting. So, like when I see the moon with the Seven of Cups, it's like, oh no, you got more options or choices than you might think, Pisces. Like this energy is about to ramp up big time. So, I think it's beautiful. This card can sometimes be like fantasizing, daydreaming, very rich inner world. That's Pisces energy, right? Like when you see the moon and the Seven of Cups, it's a very rich inner world here. I don't feel like it's fantasizing to an unhealthy extent, but I mean, we all need that inner escape from time to time. To me, it's more like that eureka aha moment where everything just makes sense now. So whether it's a realization, a revelation, where it's like, oh, okay, I understand now. We're going to keep going because there's a lot of chatter after it. Let's keep going. And the energy just feels super creative in this time, more so than usual. And I know that's like a baseline Pisces energy, but it feels even more so. So let's see what's up with the Eight of Wands. Because, I mean, this could give someone that push to do something, potentially. Okay. All right. Okay. So we have the King of Wands in reverse. This is a little wild here, Pisces. It's a little wild. So the King of Wands, that's big Aries energy, and it could be Leo and Sag too, but it's just giving me huge Aries vibes for some reason. Eight of Wands, that action, it's fiery, it's fast, it's hot and heavy. The King of Wands in reverse. Now, one thing to mention, kings represent control of their suit. We spoke in depth about the fire, where it's the action and the communication and all that stuff. So the king usually controls what is said, what is done, the actions that it takes. When it's in reverse underneath this Eight of Wands, it's like, screw it, just going to do it. Like it's a very risky type of energy where it's like, I think about it, I do it. I don't overthink it, I just do it. It's like an energy that's running on impulse here. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with being a little risky or someone taking a risk. Nothing wrong with calculated risk. But just know, if you're normally one of those, my fellow Pisceans that are like calm, cool, collected, and cautious, this energy here is a little wild, my friends. So again, I'm not going to say it's a warning, but it's an energy where it's like, I have an idea, I'm going to do it now. There's something I want to say, I'm going to say it now. It's like there's no gap of time, there's no waiting. That's it. It's like a knee jerk reaction potentially. So, yes, do we have the explosive fire reaction? Yes. Do we have a little bit of riskiness involved? Sure. I want to see how it shows up when we get to the page, though. I don't know. It made me chuckle, so I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing for everyone, but I would just watch out for urges in this time. I'll say that. And I mean, it could be good for all we know, right? It's about inspired action. Sometimes we get the urge to do something. Sometimes we get the urge to say something and it pays off for us. So maybe that's why the King of Wands is in reverse, where it's like, all right, well, don't hold yourself back. Don't stop yourself. If you want to do it, do it. If you want to say it, say it. Let's go in on the Page of Swords. And if that's not you, it could be somebody else acting in that way. But let's see what's up with the Page of Swords. Maybe this will slow the roll a little bit. Yeah, okay. So this is like an energy that's like, no, maybe not. Like, I don't know. It's like an energy that's trying to urge caution here. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight. So we got a lot of people, right? We got almost the whole zodiac out here. We got the water, we got the fire, earth, air. Everyone's here. Very people. It's like a party. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, remember all knights represent action. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest one. So like when I see the Page of Swords, it's like, well, I'm looking out for you, Pisces. Well, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you didn't fully think that through. It's like somebody trying to caution another person. So I'm not sure if you're doing that or trying to advise someone to like slow something down. But it's like this energy so amped up and wants to do this, and it's so pumped, and it's like just really fired up to take some action, make some moves. But this one is like, you need to tone it down a little bit there. Like maybe just calm it down. I don't know who this is or what it is. Now, there can be conversation, a lot of conversation, especially with all the people. He's also a messenger, too. It doesn't feel like a stick in the mud. It doesn't feel like it's a killjoy, but I do think it's somebody that's urging caution for some reason. Um, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, Pisces, you can't do that. If you have inspired action to do something, if you have inspired action to say something, you do what you got to do. Like your intuition for your situation, I trust it. But there is this energy here on the back end that's like, maybe not. It's like planting seeds of doubt, right? So watch out for that in this time. If there is something that you're really pumped about or happy about, and someone's like planting seeds of doubt in your mind, just watch out for that, because that's a big vibe I'm picking up here. Let's go through and do a quick recap. That was super unique this week, Pisces. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we got the moon with the Seven of Cups. This feels like a eureka, aha moment where things just fall into place and everything suddenly makes sense. Could be a great idea, and someone's like really amped up and pumped up about it. Then we get to the center, we got the explosive action moving forward here with the Eight of Wands and the King of Wands in reverse. Screw it, I'm going to do it. Screw it, I'm going to say it. So it could be a conversation potentially, but to me it does have like a sense of risk to it. And again, nothing wrong with a calculated risk or putting yourself out there, but this energy is like, no, I feel good about it, so I'm just going to do it. Moving to the back end, we have the Page of Swords with the Knight of Pentacles, and it does feel like somebody either planting seeds of doubt or trying to calm someone or something down, where it's like, all right, well, maybe that's a good idea, but maybe take your time, or maybe not so fast. I don't know what this cautionary energy is, but you would know what that is, so please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out. What do we got? And I'm not nervous about all that energy, Pisces. So, all right, we have the Three of Pentacles. And funny, I was mentioning like all these people, and it feels like a party because the Three of Pentacles, it could sometimes be work, money, business related stuff. And it's, to me, it's a card of teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. It's very collaborative. But all threes represent other people, right? So, again, I'm not saying don't take certain people's advice or anything like that, but some energies are much easier to work with than others. And I don't know why that's important to say, but I feel like it needs to be said when this shows up in the shadows. Because some energies, they just flow and they work and it's cool. And then some energies, it's like pulling teeth to try to get this energy to play along. That's the shadow side of this Three of Pentacles. I mean, unless you're dealing with a funky work situation or unless you're dealing with a funky group dynamic, to me, it's like this is a hard energy to work with or collaborate with. So we're just going to put it right there. Pisces, that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice. The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.